is a Chamber of Commerce afternoon here in the Peach State of Georgia. We've got the roof open, wide open, and we are ready for football at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Today, our new season begins with an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Set to go, Younghoe Koo ready to do the honors. And off we go on EA Sports. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on it before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing, but to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away in the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position, and to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This one left side, caught by Patterson. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Let's go.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. He'll drop to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Kyle Pitts from 13 yards out. And the Falcons are on the board here first in the season opener. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, in his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, "Let's go, big boy. You're still our leader."
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Winston to Thomas, and it's a New Orleans first down.
All-pro receiver Michael Thomas missed all of 2021 while recovering from an ankle injury, but we'll never forget that he set an NFL record in 2019 with 145 catches. When healthy, borderline unguardable, just like he was on that play.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. Jameis to throw it. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into it because they were there to help break that pass up.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Again, it's Winston. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
And they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints will take over here at their own 12-yard line. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's when you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Working out of the gun, Winston. This one taken in by Olave. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And Charles, it's now a 2-touchdown lead in the opening quarter. Following that pick 6, they are off to a fast start in this one.
And absolutely ecstatic on the sideline after that play, aren't they? Not just because they got the lead, but how about seeing one of their guys get a chance to take it in for 6? Already up a pair of touchdowns. They've got everything going their way early on.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that? His pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you meant to the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw here. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Back to throw here. And complete to Drake London. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. The slot man in motion right. First and 10, it's Patterson. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try to get those yards a safer way.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see if offense and the defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Complete. It's Johnson. Finding space at the 40. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Winston to give. It's Kamara. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. To throw is Winston. And my goodness, another interception. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
And this is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone.
Drake London with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Falcons are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
And the catch made by Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw there taken in by Smith. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Second half will start with a run by Patterson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Marcus Davenport brought him down, the UTSA product. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he just throws this one away. That was a bit strange, and here comes the flag. Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He's got a man, complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO. What's the quarterback looking at?
Basics, he's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down to take the running back, the quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside player. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now.
And my goodness, another interception. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave, embrace it. go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. That's out to the left and complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
They'll throw again. Winston. He completes it to Olave. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
A first down throw for Winston. That's Olave bringing in another one. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2nd and goal from the 1. Play action now. Winston. They'll roll him out right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. He's at the 50. The 30. 10. 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Koo to kick it off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Winston. And now here is another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Koo able to connect on the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And some room to work. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Muscle damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This is caught, and they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. They run. It's Kamara. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Finding room at midfield. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Falcons are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Patterson running between the tackles. And he's got some space. Cordell Patterson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard chart. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Falcons, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles